Hello there. All right. Getting back into reading has felt so good, but He Who Fights with Monsters, Book 8. Okay, now this one felt a lot like I remember. It didn't start out as good as 7 did. 7 basically got you straight into it. 7 basically, because it was literally only following Jason. His party was halfway across the world, so you heard about Jason's powers and Farah's, but Jason was the only one really fighting. You didn't really follow any of the other characters except in a quick look at what they were doing. But in this one, because his team was just reunited, so they're like, okay, it's been 3 years since we've really done their power structure. We've really talked about each individual character. So they spent a lot of time doing if you've played D&D, the whole worksheet, the breakdown power structure worksheet of it takes up a lot of space in books. And as much as I enjoy lit RPGs, it just feels like it's there to not really add much, but it's supposed to add to the characters. It's supposed to add, just show a lot more, make it feel more like what it's supposed to be. But there was just so much of it. There was like a ton of them in one chapter, and then a few more in another chapter, and then like one in another chapter. Then it went back to being several more. Even though I did enjoy the story, it's just every time, it's just like, oh, great. And I could hear, like, as you're just going through the book, you could just hear the ding, 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 the rewards and everything you get for fighting, all that stuff. Is just, I get it. I understand, because we hadn't been with these characters for a long time, but it was just like, why did each character have to get off their, I know they split up, I know they all started doing their own things, but why did every character have to get their own narrative? Oh, but this one, honestly, it feels, unless they're going to lean into the fact that Jason's being hunted by everyone now, I hope they're going to do a skip. I really hope it's going to be like a 10-year skip. As much as I always say I hate that stuff, it feels like the story has basically ended. The Builder's gone. Purity has been discovered to be, and is no more. They've already stopped all that because they let the truth out. Maybe there'll be factions here and there which have been, brainwashed to the point, people who believe in something so much that when they find out it's false, it's hard for them to acknowledge the fact that it's false, no matter how many facts you put in front of it. They said it here, and even Jason's like, "Oh, that's called religion." It's one of those things. Belief really does take it into people. As soon as they're proven wrong, it's this is more like the extremist belief, the ones who believe that Jesus Christ is on earth right now, or they have been reborn, and then take their group of people with them, and when they're told, though, that's not Jesus Christ, just like, no, you can't be wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Even after everything's been coming out. But yeah, I like that aspect. I liked a little bit of it, but it felt so long in the beginning. And then what happened? Halfway through the book, Jason is out of it. He's gone. He's no more. He's in a bed. And then the rest of the half of the book is him recovering, which honestly, I felt was the best part. There was no fighting. It was constantly just fleshing out the story more. I was hoping one thing while Jason was unconscious, that they would show his perspective of being unconscious. I was hoping that after several chapters in, I'm talking too quickly. After several chapters in, they were going to have Jason basically in a black void as he's talking with like Colin, as he's talking with like Gordon, as he's talking with like Shade, or like his familiars are attached to him. They can talk him to, because Gordon was doing things that nobody thought of anything. I was thinking Jason was basically talking with them in his, I would like to have seen his, but no, he was blackout cold. There was nothing he could remember. Maybe they will do that as he'll start to remember things as to when he was blacked out, what he was saying to his familiars. He probably can't remember it because he was so traumatized that he has blocked things out. But honestly, I think it would be nice to see his perspective, because I have a feeling that he was conscious with the way he is. His mind would be aware and in some kind of space where he could talk with at least his familiars, because he has all that stuff. They end up ending on that kind of thing. So I like that aspect, and I would like to see it. Maybe because they mentioned that he can't read some of the stuff that Gordon was saying. He can't read. He doesn't fathom it. I'm hoping that once he fathoms it, once he can understand, once it comes to terms that, oh, okay, he can get a flashback as to everything he was talking with Gordon, everything he was talking to Colin when he was knocked out. I think that would be a fun addition, even though they could easily just say, oh, he was knocked out. There was no way he knew what was going on. That's easy. That's fine. It works either way. But I am enjoying it, other than the fact that the first half of the book was just a lot of that same stuff over again. And the fact that the Purity Church, the fact that the Builder, everything just ended like that so instantaneously. It was just like, okay, normally they're big boss fights. I mean, there are normally letdowns when things just end up ending that way. But this one worked. This one felt, because it's been building to more. There's always been building to more. Even though Jason is in the middle of these conflicts that he should have nothing to do with, it has always felt like there's something more on the horizon. The World Phoenix knows something about the Builder. The Builder knows something that wants to tell Jason. There's all these little aspects going on that Jason just happens to be in the middle of. But yeah, I'm hoping that 5 kind of skips a bit, because I don't want to go through the unless it makes it but honestly, he's been doing a good job writing this, making it very entertaining to go through, because I'm excited to see if it's about basically the government's trying to get a hold of Jason, all the guilds, all the corrupt organizations, governments are corrupt, but yeah, every crime boss, everything is trying to get a hold of Jason to figure out how he has this power to be able to talk with supreme beings, to get visits by deities, to just all these, the fact that golden rankers, diamond rankers hang around them. But yeah, I enjoyed it, even if the beginning was just like, oh my gosh, another sheet, let's just skip it. But then you can't skip it because you don't know if it's gonna hold something valuable to the story. So it's like, okay, I'll glimpse through it, and then you go, okay, there was nothing there. Glimpse through it, okay, there's nothing there. Glimpse through it, maybe there is something there that I just didn't catch, but I just am not a fan of those. It feels like it adds extra pages to a story, which it just takes me out of it. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying He Who Fights with Monsters. It's actually a fun read. It really is entertaining to go through, especially for the beginning when it was just like an annoying character. And it works because as he's gotten older, as he's gone through all this stuff, he has grown. He has matured. Kind of. That's the one running gag, because he's older, he's more mature, but he's not. But yeah, I definitely recommend this book. The series, I guess. He's been doing a good job writing it, and I'm looking forward to where it goes. And honestly, reading something like that, that's the thing. Reading these books always makes me want to get back to my writing. I've been out of it for a long time. I've been working on, everything else. There's just so much on my plate. Maybe in a year or two, things will finally start settling down, where I'll have time to just exclusively write and get my, let's just say an excessive amount of books that I've been working on out. But thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Doodles.